Okay, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Hey guys, this video caught my attention today while I was looking at YouTube. A Argentinian guy was talking, going over to New York, and he was talking about AI. That AI trying to do things like fly an airplane with only one pilot for more than 1 hour or 8 hours. Guys, let me tell you something. The facts of having two pilots or more and one stewardess or more, that depend of an aircraft size and the amount of passengers. I don't gonna start on details. I'm not a flying school. I'm not a flight instructor to teach you how many passengers, for how many crew, how many stewardess, and how many extinguisher, so far, so on. But I'm gonna tell you something. Having three pilots or more, like you do an international flight over to Europe, and there could be six pilots there. But guy, in the plane, only one man can manipulate that plane. It could be for 8 hours, for 10 hours, for 14 hours, and that only pilot flies regardless that you have 10 pilots on board, regardless that you have 20 pilots on board, and you have 200 passengers and you have 300 passengers. Yeah, there is a rule of safety that after nine passengers, there should be two pilots on board. The two pilots on board is just mostly for the duty times. That increase you the duty time. The duty time from 8 hours can go up to 16 hours that you can be on that cockpit. And they are dual control, but while you're flying, there is the hands and the brain for only one pilot. The other pilot that is going to be there is going to assist the pilot not to forget things that may forget, especially reading the checklist before takeoff in emergency, what the emergency checklist, that actually all the pilots, single pilot, I mean, we have to know this by heart. And in any airplane that you fly, there has to be a manual of the airplane and there have to be checklists, including all emergency checklists. You can have a 9 passengers or a 10 passenger seater or 8 passenger seater or probably 20 passengers, and there are planes that they are done for only one pilot and cargo, and you can flight time is only restricted to 8 hours. So after 8 hours, no one can fly anymore. So if you are going to be doing a long trip that goes beyond the 16 hours of flying, there has to be an extra crew that can take over that flight. So it's only 8 hours of flight time, actual flight time for the pilot. The dual pilot goes to 16 duty time. Okay, duty time is the time that where you start and the duty time that where you can come from. You can go for 16 hours of duty time, but you only can fly at least 8 hours. So that is not a matter of there is only one pilot that fly 8 hours. And let me tell you something. This is strictly for commercial operator. As a pilot, there is no limit how many hours you can fly. If you can fly for 24 hours, nobody can stop you being a pilot alone. So you have your own airplane and you want to do a trip, if the airplane is permissible to fly from point A to point triple Z, and you can make it in 9 hours, in 10 hours, there is no rule that tells you you cannot fly that portion of the flight in only single pilot. Of course, there is a safety factor that when a pilot goes alone and just listen to the noise of the airplane, the atmosphere, especially airplane that doesn't do any noise, and you cannot talk when you're flying overseas. Uh, yeah, it's good that the pilot can stop for rest every 2 3 hours and have a little time off. Is like truck drivers. Truck drivers today, the cockpit is sealed, and you can go for hours. You can go for 10 hours drive, and you don't need another driver. Yeah, you need another driver sometime when you're gonna operate 24 hours and you only can operate the tractor trailer for 10 hours, so you have to stop and let the other driver take over. But doesn't mean that you need two drivers, because both of you are going to be operating the truck. The same thing of an airplane. So don't get confused. AI can be here. AI is very smart. With AI, you can do fancy things, and it's only for entertainment. It's only for those people that want to have fun with the video you do. But actually, the real fact that also for example, the video that I doing on extraterrestrial. Yeah, this is a fancy video, but in the other side have a truth on it. We are not alone on the universe. So this is the real part of it. Flying alone, long trip with only one pilot is totally permitted. That's what we call Regulation Part 91. If you're flying an airplane for hire, which that different part of in airline transportation, they always require a little bit more. Yeah, when you're flying a jet, for example, you're flying a little jet, companies and FAA, they recommend that two pilots be on board, because the high altitude, because the complex of the flight, because other things that may happen, that you can get tired, you can get to sleep. And most of the time, there are some operations on Part 135 where you have an autopilot of 3 axes or more, and you can fly single pilot operation, and you can go bad weather, you can go everywhere. Always, the limit flight time is 8 hours. You cannot exceed that time. And 10 hours for a single pilot on duty, 16 hours for a dual pilot. If they have changed and somebody want to correct it, you can be very, very good. I've been outside of aviation for since 2005, so the regulation were that way. But don't try to focus on the AI and trying to fold the AI with the single pilot operation in airplanes, private airplanes and commercial airplanes. On commercial airplane, only short flight, mostly because the duty time and the flight time, they are going to be allowed. Only you got an autopilot that is more than 3 assets capable of maintaining that aircraft in and off the ground after you come into the ground and get you very proximity to the airport. Yeah, you can go a little bit more longer, but you cannot exceed the flight time. If you're flying private, you can fly whatever time you want. There is no rule. There is no Federal Aviation Administration that can tell you how many hours you fly as a private pilot or as your own pilot. Not even the President of the United States can tell you cannot fly more than 8 hours. So you have your own airplane, you take the airplane to where you want, you fly the time that you want. If you want to fly 24 hours, and you can hold that up in the air, that up to you. Nobody can say nothing. So there are some people that fly in airline and they believe because they have 3 pilots on some airplane and they have to pilot, both pilot are at the control. That is totally wrong. Only one pilot fly the airplane. Regardless, 300 passengers, 400 passengers, 200 passengers, 700 passengers, whatever airplane you fly, 2 passengers, only one pilot fly. So, hey, read before you can do information in the internet, because if you're doing something wrong, you're doing something wrong and somebody gonna come and correct it. My video is long, so you can listen to this. This is very interesting because not because an airplane have 3 pilots or 6 pilots on board in an international flight. It's because all pilots, they are going to be manipulating the plane. That's totally wrong. So learn about it, read about it before you can make a comment on any video. Thank you guys, and I hope somebody give a finger up to this video. Thank you.